Good evening. Kraig Smyth here from MyBizGuide Business Consulting and Personal Development Hub. Ready to talk about some more disengage from linear mindset. So we'll see how the lighting is. We have good light right here. I like to do my videos outside for obvious reasons, even though it's a little bit chilly. So instead of a green screen, I have a black screen, dark sky. So AOC, Alexandria OcasioCortez, made some good points the other night. And yeah, as you know, I'm not a political person, but I can see when people are doing good things in the space that they're in. And so credit there. She did a lightning round that showed a lot of serious loopholes in the system, and ended up saying that, yeah, the system's fundamentally broken. But wait, there's more. There's actually a lot more. I'm going to point out a few other things about how the system is broken and how it started broken. I think that I'll go from some of the lesser obvious problems and then get into something a little bit larger. You know, the system, the governmental system, the educational system, the monetary system, all those things are tied together. And the educational system is the basis for what contemporary society does. It bases standards on, do you have this education? So why aren't these elected officials held to that educational standard? Where is the testing? Just like any high school or college student would have to do. Where is the testing that shows that these people are actually knowledgeable in their fields? Shouldn't there be a test? Shouldn't there be just a basic test? So to me, that's a huge disconnect. Let's see that, you know, these people have a test not only to show aptitude in these different areas of finance, foreign affairs, but also humanities. They should have a basic understanding of psychology, how people function. They should have basic understanding of the environment, how natural things function, first and foremost. And honestly, that should be everyone's education before math and reading. We should know the basic functions of Earth, how trees work, water cycles, that sort of thing. That should be a basic thing. We have to start with the most important things first. Priorities, right? Priorities. In addition, people running for office should be able to pass psychiatric evaluations, mental and physical health evaluations. Simple stuff, right? This is a system that everyone's forced into. Let's see some consistency in that system if you're going to use that system. So there's that. There's a whole myriads of levels of disconnect there. Another thing is that the whole political system, the whole governmental system, and the monetary system that it's tied to doesn't recognize value, doesn't recognize the most valuable things. Life itself, yes, Earth, the planet. It kind of starts somewhere in the middle. You can't have any system without recognizing the natural system. That's just how it is. That's a fact. So for a governmental system to start looking at laws, they're starting in the middle. They're starting with these human-centric laws that doesn't focus on everything that humans need to exist. Point, right? The monetary system. What is the end of the usefulness of the monetary system? Where does that tool stop being viable? Well, I'll tell you where the monetary system stops being viable. It stops being viable when people try to use it to put a price on things that are invaluable. You follow that? Food, clean air, clean water, clean soil. You cannot put a price on these things. These things, they are invaluable. They fall outside the spectrum of which the monetary system and that exchange system of printed currency is effective. Right? Not knocking money. It facilitates trade, and that's fine, but let's understand the limits of its usefulness. Understand the limits of its usefulness. Just like understanding the limits of the usefulness of written laws, as opposed to living instinctually, being in the now. So, understanding the limits of these things, and also understand the beginnings of these things. These things meaning the governmental system. First of all, governments are not in place because a bunch of people said, hey, you guys are really super smart and know a lot about how to manage our population. Please lead us. It's not what happened. What happened? Okay, everybody. They conquered. They killed people. All the governments, all the major governments in the world are there because they subjugated, oppressed, murdered, committed genocide on existing entities. Okay, so hold that and think about the mindset of conquering and killing versus the mindset of nurturing and growing. Okay, that whole system is from a conquering mindset, is from conquest and takeover. That is the exact opposite of a nurturing system. That is not personal development. It is not understanding natural cycles. It is not understanding the human experience, the human condition. It is not sustainable. So that's how these governments got in power, right? So now, here's a government in power, and now it's got this population under its control. Well, wow, what do you do with them? Well, they don't know, because that's not where they've ever been. They don't know. So, you make laws to keep people from doing things that you don't want them to do. That whole concept is from a group of people that couldn't agree on anything. The whole government, and sorry, I kind of got off track here. The whole government is formed because people couldn't agree on anything. And so, let's vote. Let's vote. The majority wins. The majority's never right. The majority's always behind the curve. In a natural setting, people follow real leaders because they recognize they're a little bit ahead of the curve. Once you put it to majority, you're asking a bunch of people that don't know. And why should they know? But laws are built to stop people. Just like that whole government conquest mentality, that's stopping people. Right? Growth, what we need for our species to go into the future in conjunction with other species in harmony with other species is to actually understand how people grow. And really, when we're talking about growing, we're encouraging people to go forward, and we're sharing experiences. We're promoting growth in a positive way. We're saying, go forward and do this. People that know this know that there's natural morality in all of us. But it needs to be brought out. Obviously, the people that conquered weren't as in tune with their natural morality as other people. Hence the need for laws. So, talk about fundamentally broken. Talk about a system that's fundamentally broken. There it is. What do? Well, we're here now. We work with what we got, but understand where these things have come from, and understand that people working within the system are still within the system that starts on the wrong foot. So whenever people are pointing to laws, or whenever people are pointing to money, like I say, our species is never going to buy or legislate itself into the future. So whatever problems we have can't be solved with legislation or printed currency. It has to be solved. We have to grow. Plain and simple, we have to grow. We have to have the deeper conversations about what growth is, real growth, and we have to learn that about our species, and we have to look for people that are more understanding of that concept. Talk about coming in from outer space. You know, it's like, well, how do we get to a point where we have to talk about who might understand the concept of being human, of natural human growth? It's like the classic, why are we even having this conversation? I can't believe we're having this conversation. But that's what it is. So, yeah, the government's disconnects, and again, founded on putting people down instead of bringing people up. That's a huge thing. So, that's all I've got to say about that. If you like these kinds of conversations, go to www.mybizguide.com. Business Consulting and Personal Development Hub. Kraig Smyth, signing off. Have a good night. Thanks for listening. Thanks for engaging.